see it, and Paul made a good point. What is legalization going to be? And we see a lot of different versions of this. And I thought if each of you guys have a lot of experience in dealing with the nuts and bolts of this, to talk about what people should look for when it comes to legalization that they can support. What does that mean specifically to you guys, and how do we achieve that? But mainly, what should people look for to know this is real legalization, this is what we've been working for, this is worth my support?
Well, I think one of the keys that I know I look for, and why I think legalization is so much more significant than, say, the concept of decriminalization, is because only under legalization is cannabis no longer contraband. And to me, that's a seismic change. You may not think it's a seismic change at first, but ultimately it is. Because even under decriminalization, even under medical marijuana, like a law like California's, the fallback is that marijuana is contraband. It's only not contraband if you can establish that under the law you have a reason why there is an exception in your case. You can present paperwork that says this is not contraband in my particular case. But when you interact with law enforcement is going to assume, of course, that it's contraband until it can be established otherwise. So even under a medical marijuana law, one as liberal as, say, California's law enforcement are under the impression that marijuana is contraband, and they are obligated to seize it and forcibly take it from you. Under legalization, marijuana is no longer defined as contraband. Law enforcement no longer have a default mechanism assuming it's contraband, and they no longer have the legal right to interact and engage with you and forcibly take the marijuana from you. I think the overwhelming majority of adverse events between citizens and law enforcement regarding marijuana will end under any scheme that no longer defines marijuana as contraband, and that only happens under a system of legalization for personal use. It's not going to happen under decrim, where marijuana is still contraband, law enforcement still have to seize it before they give you a ticket. It doesn't happen under medical marijuana, where marijuana is still contraband unless you can establish enough paperwork to show otherwise. It only happens under legalization. So to me, that's the core difference. And whether we have some regulations or more regulations, the bottom line to me is marijuana defined under the law as contraband, or is it defined under the law as legal? If it's defined under the law as legal, then I think we've made a huge and important step forward.